Can we do it?
So I'm in my 2020 Ram 5th generation 1500, and this is the second battery that's been installed in it. I'm the second owner. Second battery was installed around 2022, and I purchased it towards the end of 2022 in August. And I've been noticing over the last couple of days, as the temperatures have been colder here in central Maryland, that the battery has been a little weaker and harder to start the truck. So let's see this morning if there's enough charge to start it. There is not. So I'm gonna have to use a jump starter and start it up. So I got my Hulkman jump starter kit that was given to me by a friend, and we're gonna see if we can jump start this truck. There's a lot of corrosion on the negative terminal, so see if I can do this with one hand here. Alright, I got the negative terminal on. I'm going to remove the red cover for the positive. Okay. As soon as I connected the red terminal, the red connector to the red terminal, the Hulkman says ready to go 100%. So we're going to go in, fire it up. Just like that. So I probably have a check engine light because of the voltage fluctuations from jump starting it, or the battery being weak. But this will be good enough for me to drop the kids to school. Went down by 3%. So we'll remove this now. Alright, so we're back, taking a look at the weak battery on my 2020 Ram 1500 5th generation. I went to Walmart after I dropped off the kids and picked up this Everstar Platinum AGM. It's got a 4-year warranty. I would have been happy with a 2-year or 3-year battery, but they didn't have those in stock. All the car batteries are made by 1 to 2 vendors, and just from what I've read online and testimonials from other friends, you know, I don't think there's going to be any kind of perceived benefit from using this AGM. So basically, you know, the batteries that have the longer warranty, you're basically paying for it, kind of like with a water heater where you there's like 8-year, 10-year, 12-year. It's not that it inherently is a better water heater, but by paying more for the water heater or for the car battery, you're just getting a longer warranty, so that if it does fail, you can return it and, or, you know, get prorated difference for the life of the battery, whatever's left over. So with that being said, I've got a 10 millimeter socket with an extension, and I've got my ratchet ready. I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see, but there is a nut down there where my middle finger is. I've got to loosen, that has like a wedge that keeps the battery in place, and then I'm going to have to loosen this nut as well as this nut and wiggle these terminals off, and then install the new battery. Before I do that though, I'm going to get rid of these leaves that are in this windshield cowl area with this electric blower. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do is set up the tripod so that it's facing at least this direction so you can see me working, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here we go. We're going to remove the 10 millimeter nut that's down here. It's not very tight at all. Alright, I'm loosening it with my hand because I thought it was going to be a short one, but it's actually a little long. Here it is. And let's see here. This is the wedge that keeps the battery firm against or secure against the tray. What I'm going to do next is remove the negative terminal, since there's a particular order. So when you're jump starting or installing a new battery, you start off with the red positive side first and then a negative. But for removing a weak or dead battery, you start off with negative first, and this is to prevent sparks and shorts from happening. So right now what I'm doing is I'm loosening the nut on the negative terminal. Pretty loose right now. Might have to wiggle this a little bit to remove it. There's a lot of corrosion on this terminal. Can't really see it from this side, or maybe you can, but as I wiggle it, the terminal is lifting off of the battery until it's completely off like that. And there's a lot of corrosion on that. I'm gonna have to clean that up with a brush or something before I reinstall the new one. Try to kick that out of the way. And let's remove the cover for the positive side. So I've removed both terminals now, and I'm going to lift this thing up and out of the way. And there's actually a black cover on it that I'm going to remove and transfer onto the new battery. So I've got the battery completely out, and I just wanted to show you what the inside of the battery tray looks like. There's, for whatever reason, there's some water that is collected at the bottom of the tray, so I'm going to use this paper towel and get that out. And then I also have the steel brush to remove the corrosion on the terminal. So we're going to do all that first before I reinstall the battery back in here. And the bolt that I took off that you couldn't see goes into right here. And the way it works is this kind of just goes like that, and it just kind of wedges the battery tightly in this area so it doesn't move. Actually, I think the side with like the waffles goes down, so it's actually like that. I think the important thing is though that it wedges against the battery to hold it in place. So like I said, I don't know why there's all this water inside of here, but I don't know if it came from the outside or if it came from the battery. But I am doing my best to clean it out. And I've got my Harbor Freight gloves on. Really should have started the video with the gloves on, but then when I realized that I had to do all this cleaning, especially touching the corrosion, probably also a good idea to wear eye protection. And no, glasses don't count, even though that's what I'm wearing, because I can't find my eye protection. Right, what I'll probably do is, there's still some leaves in there. I'll try to blow it out right now with my electric blower. Let's get the brush. Should have a mask on as well. Try not to breathe in this dust. It's a lot better than it was before. I'm gonna blow out the dust that's in here one more time. So you can see the inside. I'll have to blow out the corrosion, but I just used a wire brush to remove it. This one. And here's the old battery as well. Show you how bad it was. Alright, so I've got the new battery here on the ladder, and I've opted not to put the black cover back on because it's all chewed up. So I'm going to lift this into here. Just be careful because you don't want to put the battery right on top of the terminals. So first thing we'll do is we'll put the wedge cover back on that keeps the battery in place. So here it is again. I think it fits best with the sides with the cutouts facing the battery. Hand tighten it to start off with. It's not catching, so something's not right. Let's see what I did wrong. Okay, so what it is that, I'll get the camera here to show. Basically the wedge kind of sits at a 45-degree angle with the battery, and then the nut goes inside. So I'll finish putting this all back together. Now I'll use the socket, tighten it down. Now it's catching. It wasn't very tight to begin with. I wonder if the previous person just didn't tighten it. But going for super tight here just until the wrench stops. good. So now we're going to take off the red cap protector. And let's get the old one that fell in there. Probably reuse this. I think it's better than this one that came with the Walmart battery. So installation is the reverse. So to take out the battery, we start off with the negative and then the positive. Now to reinstall it, we'll start off with the positive and then negative. Same order as if you were to if you were charging or not charging, but jump starting the battery. So now we'll tighten it down. Don't really need the extension anymore for this. I'm going to use my hands to kind of get it somewhat tight first, and then get the socket on there. Make sure it's got a good connection. The terminal wire has a good connection with the battery point. Now I'll tighten it. I'm sure there's a torque spec for it. I don't know what it is. I'm just going with snug. And we're going to do the other side now. Can put this cover back on. It just looks like that, and it just goes right over top. Okay. I'm going to take care of the negative. So there's a plastic protector cap on the negative terminal. I forgot to take it off. I'm gonna need a flat screwdriver to pop it off. I'll be right back. Okay, so got a little flat screwdriver, and I'm gonna pop it off. You can kind of see it right here. You just put the flat screwdriver in there and pop it upwards, and then the cap comes off. Throw that off to the side and the screwdriver for now. And let's get this negative terminal back on. So I don't have any petroleum jelly or Vaseline with me. Ideally, you put some dielectric grease on this. I'm gonna pick some up later on and put it on here. Trying to wiggle it on there more snugly. Alright, that's pretty good. And now I'm going to tighten it down. Get it snug. pretty good. Okay. So, some last things before we finish up here. Move this stuff out of the way. I opted not to put this cover back on because it was pretty chewed up. And just, you know, the truck's 5 years old. And it's also wet from whatever that water was, whether it was from the old battery or from external environmental moisture. So I'm just going to toss it and not use it. So in summary, you know, pretty straightforward job. I got the battery from Walmart, and it was a little like $213 minus the $12 cord charge when I returned the old battery. So you don't have to go with the 4-year AGM. You can get a 2 or 3 year, and that'll most likely be fine. The previous Mopar battery lasted close to 4 years. It's rated for, not rated, but the warranty's for 36 months. The tools needed for this job: gloves, maybe eye protection and a mask if you got corrosion, dielectric grease for the terminals if you have corrosion to prevent it from happening again. I'm not an electrical engineer or electrician or anything, so I'm not entirely sure why it happens. 10mm socket, extension, ratchet, flat screwdriver to pop off the cover on the terminals on the battery, some paper towels, and maybe a blower to remove the debris underneath the battery and the battery tray. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. Oh, and you have to have the ability to lift up 50 pounds, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get the battery into here. Oh, and if you're on the shorter side like me, you're going to need a little step ladder too, because these trucks sit higher than regular cars and SUVs. So next, let's fire it up and see if everything's good to go. So I'm back in the truck. I'm about to fire it up and see if everything went well with the battery installation. Fire it up, no issues, and that check engine light that was previously there is gone. So that tells me that even though we were able to jumpstart the weak or dying battery and drive around, the reason why the check engine light was kind of coming in and out intermittently was because of, you know, the voltage being on the lower side and the car detecting it. But now that we have a brand new healthy battery in there, it's fine. It's also interesting to me too, because, you know, when I was driving around with the battery, when I after I jump started it, it was still showing 14.6 to 14.7 when I was driving it. But there's probably other metrics that the car system is looking at on the battery to determine its health besides the voltage. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. I apologize if it was really long. Feel free to fast forward through the parts that you need, but it's a pretty straightforward job overall on these trucks. I've done battery replacements on some VWs and Audis and stuff where it's a lot more involved than this is. So, and that's a video of the old battery. Thanks for watching.